40 minutes is great.
Okay, welcome to iRise Conversations with Joan. My name is Joan Nwosu, and I'm the award-winning author of the book, iRise, The 10 Secrets to Getting Up When Life Knocks You Down. With the digital age and thankfully the pandemic, we've all heard of remote everything. Remote work from home, business consultation, personal training, you name it. The world has gone remote. But what if you could heal your body remotely too? I'm not talking about getting prescriptions from your doctor and going to the pharmacy. No, no, no. This is a technology that uses only energy to heal many diseases and over 400,000 pathogens that cause diseases without you having to do anything. Well, except you have to send them your photograph. If that's got you curious, then you want to sit tight because our guest today has made that possible. Our guest with us today is Tom Paladino. He is a researcher and humanitarian seeking to make a difference in the world by providing people with the education and tools to restore optimal health to enhance their quality of life. He became intrigued by the existence of an energy that is not part of the electromagnetic spectrum and began researching with scalar energy during his undergraduate years after developing a deep admiration for the father of scalar energy research and knowledge, Nikola Tesla, who I'm sure we all know. Tom's fascination with scalar energy led to the development of an instrument called the Scalar Light, which is used to harness scalar energy. He developed this unique healing technique using scalar energy to heal people remotely. His instrument provides a remote, fast, harmless, and painless treatment process that has successfully healed patients with HIV/AIDS, Ebola, herpes, hepatitis, Lyme disease, and over 400,000 pathogens that cause diseases by using only your photographs. Wow. Welcome, Tom, to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tom, I'm no scientist here, but I hear and read all these things and I'm just blown away. But first things first, let's get to the basics. What is scalar energy and where does
it's not electricity. That's, if we can make that distinction, it's a different type of energy. And once you understand that, it's simple. So this is not electricity. It's energy from the sun, energy from the stars. And it does not behave like electricity. So anytime I make a statement or I make a claim, I can stand by that claim because I'm working with an energy spectrum that's phenomenal, that can perform so many scientific functions. It's incredible. It far surpasses the ability of electricity.
Oh, wow. So you got fascinated by this and you've done lots and tons of research. What is your vision? What do you plan to do with scalar energy?
To power the world. Scalar energy is free energy from the sun and the stars. Obviously, sunlight and starlight is free and it's clean. What do I want to do? I want to replace the existing grid system that is expensive and dangerous with free energy. Nikola Tesla wanted to do that. And he was proving that at a local environment, so to speak, at a local level, where he could send energy, scalar energy, and power a motor or power some type of device. Free energy from the sun and the stars. We are recording this now in the summer of 2022, and we are in the midst of an energy crisis. Now, that does not have to be, because we should be using the free energy from the sun and the stars. There would not be an energy crisis.
Oh, wow. So, okay, so I hear you and it sounds great, but how come other people are not talking about this? You're saying free, clean energy.
They should. They should. It's a media blackout, Joan. It's because it's so far-reaching and it's so efficient. It is a threat to those with who are holding the power today. This new technology is a threat to the establishment.
Wow. So I can already see that. And a lot of industries are threatened by what you're saying, because if the claims that you're making are true, then that's a lot of power shifting hands worldwide. So now you've been on this journey for a while. What are some of the challenges that you keep coming up against?
It takes time. this is an educational process, and I'm willing and patient to educate people to this wonderment of scalar energy, what this unrecognized energy can do for mankind. So it's a process, and I thank you for this ability to speak to your audience. Once the world realizes that there's two energies, and that the best energy, the most efficient energy is Tesla energy or scalar energy, it will take off. The world will embrace this.
Wow, I can't wait for that world. It's like I was blown away when I heard about this. So I'm rooting for you. I'm really hoping that we get to
Thank you.
So I know you've mentioned, taking over light and power and things like that, but what is the scalar light now? So we know what scalar energy is.
Yeah.
What is the scalar light?
Yeah, I work with custom-built instruments that controls scalar energy. I'm going to show the audience one of the instruments. That is a scalar energy instrument. Now, that instrument harnesses sunlight or starlight. That's not an electrical instrument. That instrument will broadcast sunlight. And we do so by actually placing a person's photograph in that force field within that instrument, in which then we can broadcast scalar energy anywhere in the world by way of a person's photograph. So what you're looking at is one of the first models of a scalar energy instrument that's not working with electricity, it's working with the free energy of the sun, of the stars.
Again, phenomenal technology. So you have the scalar light instrument, which harnesses the scalar energy that you can send to people just by their photographs.
Yes. Now let me explain that. Let me explain.
Mind blowing here. Mind blowing.
I'm holding up my photograph. What's the point? This is a source of light. It has a signature. My photograph has my signature or my quantum field. So we're not working with people directly. We work with their quantum field. Now I'm holding up my cell phone. Obviously, I can speak to you at a distance, Joan. Yeah. Obviously, you're not in the cell phone and I'm not in the cell phone. Well, by way of analogy, I am not in the photograph. It captures my resonance, or it captures my signature. So if you can make a communication with a phone, a cell phone, you can also communicate with somebody by way of their quantum field. A source of light is on that photograph. And that's all I need. I showed you the instrument. I actually take a person's photograph and I place it inside the instrument. I make a connection by way of their force field on the photograph. And in so doing, then I can send information to that photograph.
Okay, so what kind of information are you sending?
I've perfected the technique to send the necessary calibration information to break apart a microbe, a virus, a bacterium. So I can guarantee your audience that I've perfected the technique to break down pathogens, germs, to break down toxins. Now, this is proving itself to be of benefit to people around the world. I have people around the world who are now attesting that they no longer have the herpes virus, or they no longer have tuberculosis. Now, keep in mind, I don't meet those people. I only work with their photograph. So the proof is in the pudding, and the people are telling me they no longer have herpes. They no longer have HIV. They no longer have tuberculosis. So there is merit to my work, and it comes by this new and emerging science, and the body of evidence is from the people. Let the people speak.
Okay, this is mind blowing. These are the things that we see in the movies, and some people might be thinking, okay, this is woo-woo stuff, but this is amazing technology that you've invented.
It is. It is. It's a new science. It's a new and emerging science.
Yeah, to be able to work with people from all over the world without having to see them physically or in person, I think you're onto something that's going to completely change the world. Completely.
It will. It will. Now consider this, Joan. I can work with one photograph at a time, or a collage, or a group of photographs. Today in my laboratory, I work with 500,000 photographs. I work with 500,000 people around the world by way of their photograph. You see, you can miniaturize a photograph.
Yes.
So what's my point? Well, the day is coming that we'll we'll work with 1 million, 2 million people a day. One of my goals is to work with 1 billion people a year. 1 billion people a year by way of their photograph. Is that doable? Yes. It's frankly is with some organization, help from people around the world. Eventually, we will be able to work with 1 billion photographs a year and provide quantum healing to 1 billion people a year.
Wow. That will be phenomenal. That's almost 10% of the planet.
You're right. You're right. It's a game changer. It's going to change the paradigm.
Wow. Okay, so I know you've mentioned some particular diseases. Are there certain diseases that this cannot work for?
Yeah. My technique is perfected with pathogens, germs, microorganisms. I can destroy microorganisms. Now, if God gives me the wisdom, I think I can move on to cancer, but I don't have any ability with cancer yet. In other words, I think the ability is unlimited with scalar energy. By the way, I believe it's a divine energy. This is energy from God. I believe I can work with other types of illnesses, but I just don't have the wisdom yet. I don't know how to operate this instrument to that extent.
Okay. And when you say this is energy from God, is this now, because I don't want to get religious, but I know some people get, okay, what does that mean? Is it Christianity God now, or what kind of God? Or is it the same as, we have energy healers from the spiritual realm? Is it that?
Let's acknowledge that there's a supreme being, a creator, who created the universe. And I'm saying this is the creator's energy, the creator's light. In other words, you don't get this from a power plant, which is electricity, or you don't dig for coal, or you don't construct a windmill. This is energy from the sun and the stars, and God, the creator, created the sun and the stars. That's why I call this a divine energy. Okay,
got you. And it's free, it's unlimited, it's clean, it can work miracles, kill people. I'm getting too excited now, but I really believe that this is a game changer. So my question though, you're working with 500,000 photographs right now. Is it 100% success rate with everyone that you've worked with?
Yes. As far as microbes, as far as germs, yes. I can guarantee that this process, that instrument that I demonstrated can destroy, can break apart a germ, a microbe. Yes. Why? It's a fundamental force. And if your car is dependable, if a plane is dependable, if a computer is dependable, if your cell phone is dependable, then that instrument that I demonstrated, that scalar energy instrument, is likewise dependable. Yes, without equivocation, that instrument, as long as I can identify a microbe, it will destroy it.
Wow. And are there any other, because some people might be a bit skeptical, saying, would it alter my DNA? Because you're saying you connect with the person through their photographs. Now you can send information and messages to their bodies. Is it just targeting the pathogens and the microbes you're talking about, or can it also alter different things about the human being?
Okay. I'll explain one other function to answer your question. I can assemble nutrients. I'm going to hold up a photograph of vitamin E. Okay. If I place this photograph inside the instrument looks at the molecular structure of vitamin E, and then will download that into my quantum field. So scalar energy can break down what's harmful, a microbe, a germ, or scalar energy can create what's beneficial, can assemble vitamin E. Now, I've developed those techniques, I've perfected them, and again, without equivocation, it works. I've done this with millions of people. It works. Now I want to introduce this to the world.
So how do you want to introduce this to my listeners?
By your gracious audience, by you being such a gracious hostess and allow me to speak. Okay. I have to get this out it's all word of mouth, Joan. To be blunt, it's going to be word of mouth by people. The people will carry the banner. People.
Wow. So people might be listening. Some people might be like, I want to jump on this. I want to heal my body too remotely. How can people get started on this?
In order to prove it, I'm all about proving and I'm all about results. My website offers 15 days of free sessions. Anybody in the world can email us your photograph. You can include your pets, And if you're a parent, you can include your children. Email us your family photographs, and we'll work with you for 15 days. And we will eradicate, break apart microbes, we'll assemble nutrients, we'll even balance your brain waves. That's 15 days of free sessions. In order to prove a new science, or to at least introduce a new science, you have to make this simple and easy. So my simple approach, anybody in the world can visit the website, sign up for 15 days of free session, and then you will have a footing. You will have some type of experience with this new technology, and then you make the decision if this works.
Okay, so I go into your website, I sign up, I send in my photograph, my best one. What can I expect to happen? Do I feel something physically?
Many people say that their dream state enhances within a day or two because we're balancing the brain waves, we're balancing the chakras. Some people say they have a feeling of bliss, a feeling of contentment. Many people say after a day or two, they can see that their mouth no longer has a biofilm. The biofilm includes bacterial infection. Well, many people say after a few days, their breath is fresher. They don't have any biofilm on their teeth, or their sinuses drain, or they can move their hands without discomfort because they had a contamination and subsequently they had inflammation in their joints. And if you can remove microbes, then you can address in some fashion this inflammation that people experience from arthritis. So those are general responses. Everybody's unique. I don't want to paint the picture for anybody specifically. So this is why the 15-day trial is so important.
Okay. And after this 15-day trial, what next? Is that it? Are they cleansed for life, or do you now offer others very specific cleansing programs?
We have 8 different programs on our website. So the first program that we introduced, we call that the standardized approach. We simply do that to educate people and get people interested. Then we leave it up to people if they want to continue and become a paying subscriber.
Okay. And what does the subscription entail? Is it a lifetime supply?
We break it down month by month, Joan. It's $89 a month. It's quite affordable.
Okay. Whew. Okay, now. So again, I love the idea of give people a free trial so they can learn for themselves, experience it, and decide if it's something that they want to move forward with. But from what I hear you say, 100% success rate, I don't think anyone can argue with that. I'm just surprised that, again, we know why, but the medical field, like the world leaders, why people are not jumping on this is mind-boggling.
No, let's retrace our steps and speak about people like Nikola Tesla, who had free energy devices. Had the world embraced free energy, well, you would have no need for Exxon or Mobil or your utility company. Everybody would have a utility company, so to speak, in their home. We would be generating our power from the sun and the stars. We would not need a utility company. And frankly, then we would not go to war over oil or gold, etc. And that in and of itself is counter to this, to what many people would consider the one world order. So that's another discussion. But what I offer is a solution to problems. I don't want to become a participant in these problems and this never-ending cascade of problems, man-made problems. I want to solve problems. That's the entire point of my research.
And you are solving problems. So thank you very much for doing that. So in terms of Scalar Energy as a whole, globally, are there other bodies or people working on this as well that you know of, or is it just you? Too few.
I hear reports of other people working, but I don't see anybody publicly proclaiming what I am. So if they're working, it's sub rosa. They're rather secretive about their work. I have a public website, and there's nothing secretive about what I'm doing. By the way, my website is scalarlight.com. Please at least look at the website, share it with friends and family. If you have 1,000 friends who want to sign up, do so. The only way I can prove this is by people experiencing this new technology. We have to move from theory to practice. How do you move from theory to practice? Well, you have to apply this. And I want to apply this by giving everybody in the world free sessions.
Wow. I think everyone should jump on that today. Scalarlight.com. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. This is healing your body remotely. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay. It's 15 days free and you get to heal your body. And I think what I also want to say to people is let's start advocating more for things like this. I think we're so used to just being so laid back, just like, oh, that's not my problem. Well, it's our problem. It's our world. You just mentioned how just oil just led to wars and all the brouhaha that's going on in the world. This is our chance to advocate for something that is good, something that was given to us by source or God, and is here. It's here. It's always been here. But for some reason, no one's talking a lot about it, or people are just, for whatever reasons, political reasons or otherwise. I think now this is a call to people to really come and listen to the truth, first of all, and speak for it. Take the 15 days trial, use it, send it to all your family and friends, everyone use it, and come back and speak for it. Come back and advocate and really say, this is working, so that a movement can start. I think that we do need a movement, because I don't know who else is going to jump on this. So Tom, have you reached out to big organizations, maybe like who are big world organizations?
They reject me. To be frank, they reject me. I've tried. I've spoken. I won't mention names, but I've spoken to some government officials. I've spoken to some people in big business. I've spoken to some people in academia. They all stonewall. There's no interest because I upset the apple cart. This is a new technology. Let me say this. With cell phones now, how many people have a landline in their home? If they do, it's rarely used. Well, what's my point? This cell phone has made obsolete the landline, or it's made obsolete the fax machine, etc. So what am I getting at? New technology pushes aside existing technology. Well, there's a lot of people who are making a lot of money out there on this technology that's in vogue today. Mm-hmm. Well, new technology is a threat. So let's just be blunt. My technology, my advances are a threat to the military-industrial complex.
I agree. It is a threat. But speaking of threats, are you not afraid?
No. You can see behind me, Jesus protects me. I'm not afraid.
Amen to that.
I'm not afraid.
Amen to that. And I really do hope that we can help in any way, shape, or form to get the message out, keep spreading the word. You said it's all word of mouth. So I am calling on all my listeners today, keep spreading the word. This is a good thing. It's not every day you look at the news, it's all bad news. It's all people trying to
isn't that a shame?
Destroy, put people down. But this is now a solution to humanity. This is going to solve a lot of problems, and it's remote, so you don't have to be physically there. There are so many people who cannot afford healthcare, who are suffering in silence. This is a solution that could help a lot of people. So Tom, how many Scalar Light devices, instruments do you have? And is that enough?
Probably 45. It's enough. It's enough to work with 1 billion people a year. Now I need people. All the research has been done. Now I need people. We need a grassroots movement.
Wow. This, again, I'm just going to keep, like, if you have connections anywhere, people who might want to jump on this, I think this is probably one of the most impactful interviews I've ever had in my life. This is a game changer. This is life-saving. This will change the world as we know it today. So,
yes, it will. Yes, it will. It's free energy. And what I've accomplished as one person, as one scientist, imagine if many people were involved. We would have changed the world a long time ago.
Absolutely. So is there any other way for people to get involved in this movement?
Visit the website first. I want people to be educated. I want them to be comfortable. And then you can write us an email. If you're really interested, write an email and address it to me, and I'll answer it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So what's next for the next? I know you have big goals. You want to heal 1 billion people, but what's coming up next?
We're working with HIV/AIDS clinics around the world, and everybody that we work with by way of their photograph, after we work with their photograph, they no longer have any viral load. no longer any presence of the HIV virus. So we're going to prove it by way of these clinics around the world, that scalar energy sessions, after we work with people who are HIV positive, there's no viral load. Now that's the best I can do because this has no scientific protocol. In other words, I can't take a photograph to a clinic and say, let's perform a clinical trial on a photograph. This is a new science. So there's no existing protocol to prove or disprove how a quantum field can accept scalar energy. Anyway, long story short, the results, we will prove our work by the results. There is no scientific protocol yet. We will look at the results, we'll see how people feel, but I want the audience to know, everybody that I've ever worked with who was HIV positive, after I administered scalar energy to their quantum field, they're HIV negative, no detectable viral load.
I'm speechless, and I'm usually not speechless. Tom, this is mind blowing. This is things that you read about, science fiction, not some from a different planet. It's just mind blowing. It's amazing. I don't know how this can be hidden any longer. I think, enough is enough. The world is suffering. I think it's
exactly. This is the simple solution. It's painless.
It's painless, and you don't have to be there. You don't have to travel. Tom, enough said. I think you're doing amazing work. I really hope that people jump on this. Again, it's scalarlight.com. Sign up for the 15 days. Observe the changes to your body, see what's happening. And if you have a good experience, spread the word, spread the message. Let's get more and more people onto this. Again, creating the awareness, first of all. And hopefully, Tom, you can get to that goal of healing 1 billion and eventually 7 billion, because I believe that we are all walking around with different pathogens in our bodies and germs and things like that. So that this will really, really solve a lot of problems for the world.
Yes. As well. Let's heal the world. Thank you. Thank you for being so positive. You see the big picture here. Good for you.
I do see the big picture because I know that, like you said, a lot of the problems that we have in the world are man-made. Yes. That is the reality. This is a way to start to solve some of those problems that have no business being in our world. The world can be a better place. I really believe that.
Bravo.
And this is
you see, we solved the problem already.
Exactly. Well, just for my listeners, so I signed up as well. So I'm already getting my healing sessions, and I will do a review about it in a couple of days when I'm done. But I strongly believe that this is a game changer. This is something that can help every one of us and can help our family, our friends, whoever, even your enemies, doesn't matter. We need to heal the world. We need to start loving ourselves, loving our planet. And this is a starting point. Thank you, Tom, so much for being here with us. This was super amazing, super informative. I really hope that you do accomplish your vision. It will really change the world.
Keep me in prayer. With nice people like you, we will. It's all a group effort, grassroots. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I hope you have gone and signed up. Again, it's scalarlight.com, 15 days free trial, and let me know how it goes. Thank you for listening today. I will see you same time next week on iRise Conversations with Joan. Thanks for listening.